Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Block Bull right back now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now today we will cover some of the top gainers in the shortlist. However, first and foremost, I want to bring to your attention the channel analytics for the Block Bull. This is your channel, guys. Now I've been growing this channel ever since around the middle of March. So I've been going approximately just over 5 months, and you guys have grown the channel very, very well. Now, I try and cover as many charts as possible, and obviously, you know, there's a couple of fan favourites, especially with XRP and Velo on this chart. Now, looking at the top geographies on the channel at the moment, the US audience is absolutely crushing it. The US audience accounts for 29.1% of my audience, and the UK is trailing behind massively, 14%, despite the fact that I am based here in the UK. Australia at 4.7%, Canada 2.8%. So let's see this time around, next video, see what we're looking like in terms of subscribers with the audience here. Okay, so diving into this shortlist, this watch list that I have created, where I believe these are some of the top cryptocurrencies in the world. Now, some of these have small cap gem potential where we can actually see a massive ROI. Some of these cryptos aren't necessarily going to take over the world or help facilitate the new financial system, but they're certainly popular. For example, like Doge. You know, there is that potential for Dogecoin to actually facilitate the payments over on X, as well as Elon Musk tries to accommodate X and turn it into like the everything app. Obviously we've got XRP, XDC, we've got Hedera Hashgraph as well. I love HBARs just predominantly because it isn't blockchain technology. It's all to do with Hashgraph as well, which makes it very, very unique. We've got some smaller cap gems here, which is built on XDC. Got XSwap protocol, got Constellation DAG, and we've got WADS Pay token. But if we was to filter these through the 24 hours, we've got Velo up nearly 13-14%. Then we've got Fleur, Stronghold, Bitcoin, Gala. So, without further ado, let's have a look at Gala, because I've talked to this in previous videos, and this for me, in the interim, is my number one pick. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's my biggest holding in my portfolio. It just means that I am very, very bullish for Gala to really get moving now in the interim, because this is on the daily. We've talked about the head and shoulder pattern now, and we've talked about this yellow horizontal line where we actually met resistance. So this is where Gala has run into resistance, and this is where we got the retrace. So we've actually got the sort of bounce out of here off this red sort of trend line. We've bounced, we've tested resistance is rejected. Now on the daily, it looks as if we're actually going back up to retest it. So the bulls are in control of this sort of market now. Now, the fact that we've actually come down slightly will enhance our sort of targets over the next month or two. But certainly, going into September with the rate cuts, look at the gains here to be had. That's 710%. Now, I'm not saying that Gala is going to make this move during September, but that is our first sort of critical level. Okay, now you can see why I'm targeting up here, because this here, even if I just borrow this yellow horizontal line, obviously we're targeting highs as always. So this high here, I believe we breach. Now the next high that we need to target will be this sort of, going back on the chart, this sort of area, and this is where we ran into resistance and support levels. So you can see here, this is the first sort of peak. We actually spiked through it. We actually created the new all-time high off that. Come back down to retest inside the blue box, you can see. And we played around in here before Gala decided to capitulate into the bear market. So he actually failed to hold that floor. Okay. Now, this is crucial to me. Like I said, 700% gain for the first target. Then going up to the next sort of high here. You could argue we could come somewhere around here. However, for me, there's not enough sort of liquidity or demand in that sort of area. So I believe we can get up this sort of area here. We could also, like, we could drag that out. So, you know, that's a sort of broad sort of second target. But we're going anywhere from about a 12-13x all the way up to about an 18x, dependent on your risk tolerance. Obviously, if you want to be conservative, you'd be targeting that 12-13x. If you're a little bit more flamboyant and a bit more of a risk taker, you got a lot more risk tolerance, and obviously you'll be looking at that as a second target. So that for me is my sort of number one pick over the next month or two, because XDC and XRP, the biggest holdings in my portfolio, are yet to get moving. Now, although we have got some fundamental news coming out with XDC 2.0, there's very, very little movement now. This could catch us all off guard. Like I've done the blueprint with XRP, it's very, very difficult to do this sort of analysis with XDC because we've only been through one cycle. So with XRP, because we've had 1-2 cycles that, I think I also did it all the way back to 2016-17. So we've almost done like 3 cycles worth of XRP. So there's plenty of data sample there in order to produce that sort of time analysis that I've actually tweeted here. So it's very difficult to replicate this on the XDC, although I have attempted it in one of my videos. Now, what I would say is, we are at the precipice, in my opinion, so whether or not we can get an early breakout for XDC, but ultimately I'd like to tie the utility tokens together, so like XRP, XDC, Stellar, Algo, HBAR, they all tend to move together. Not so much HBAR for whatever reason. HBAR did make a decent little pop within the last quarter or two. Quant is tied heavily to XDC as well, in my opinion, so Quant and XDC will be helping the R3 Corda ecosystem, so they're almost pegged together, if you like, and then XRP and XLM are also, there's that analogy where they're brother and sister, so they tend to move together regardless. Even if Stellar doesn't receive any news, any fundamental news coming out, it'll always move with XRP for whatever reason. I really don't know why that is, but that's just algorithms at work. Okay, so that is XDC. Have we looked at the XRP chart so far today? I don't think we have, because we covered we covered Gala first, then we just covered XDC, and now we're on XRP, right? So here we are again, pretty much trading sideways. Again, we expect to pinball around this sort of area. Now, someone did comment on the I think it was 6th of October until the SEC have got to appeal the $125 million fine, which was sort of implemented for XRP to pay off. So 6th of October will be an important day. Obviously, we've got the documentary landing through November, so we got consecutive news sort of coming in alternative sort of months. So there's plenty to watch out for, but I do expect, even if XRP does break out of this wedge prior to the official breakout here at the end of the year, we would get a retracement back into this wedge. So I wouldn't, even if XRP does set off early, I wouldn't be FOMOing into that price action. I'd be definitely waiting for the retest of that wedge. Now, whether or not we do pop out of here and then retest, that is to be, that's to be concluded. We'll soon see in the coming months, especially going into Q4 as we roll into September in the coming days. So it's all to play for, guys. So that is XRP, in my opinion. We're still playing out. We're still, consolidating towards the end of this apex on the log chart. Okay, let me just double check. Yes, it is on the log chart. Now, one chart that we've not been covering much of is XRP Bitcoin, because predominantly we've been looking at the weekly. So this is all we've been looking for on this particular pairing. However, when I noticed these sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles, weekly candles, that had been done around this sort of area. Now, I want to measure, see what actually happened around this sort of date. When this concluded here, this happened on the 3rd of December 2018. So I'm going to flip over to the XRP chart and see what happened in terms of price action. So let's just bear that date in mind, 3rd of December 2018. Let's just go back. 3rd of December 2018. 3rd of December 2018. Where are you? 3rd of December 2018. So it's around this sort of section. Right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to mark it out with horizontal, vertical line. Where are we now? Here we go. 3rd of December. go back one there. So that's what happened the last time we got those like sort of 6-7 consecutive candles. In terms of the price action, literally XRP within the following weeks, it's literally gone sideways. So for me, XRP Bitcoin chart isn't telling us a lot of data right now. However, having said that, XRP is at the end of its wedge, similarly to a lot of cryptos out here in the market. Now, if I just go back onto the linear chart here, this depicts the charts a lot better, and it also illustrates the charts a lot more sort of, you can see the confluence anyway, like we've discussed before. 1 peak, 2 peak wedge, 1 peak, 2 peak wedge. These are the accumulation of the green candles. Once we got that accumulation of the green candles, obviously that's when we've rolled over. So to me, I don't feel like there's enough downside action for XRP Bitcoin to actually repeat that sort of price action, which is what we saw up here, because again we was trading inside the wedge. So times are very different now. So this is the first time this has ever happened outside of the sort of macro structure, if you will. We have sort of retested lows as well. You can see this yellow horizontal line. So we've taken out that weekly low back here, which was set in December of 2020. So we're going back almost 4 years. You could argue this was the low here, wicking in, but for me, retail aren't going to get invested on a wick. Yes, people do place orders, but there's very minimal. You know, the percentage of people that actually get in on wicks is bare minimal. It'll be probably 0.0001% of people that actually have orders, and even if they did have orders, they wouldn't be to a large scale. But for me, we've retested successfully here. So XRP is about to run up against the Bitcoin. So whether or not we can get like a sort of pop, because you can see this sort of price action here, this for me would be my sort of first target, especially in the interim, because you can see that tap, not quite made it, tap, tap, and again we've just been weak. So we're looking to at least test this ceiling as resistance. So this would be sort of first significant level that I'd be looking to test. Now we need to break that, so for me that's sort of the first hurdle. Now if I measure up from current price action all the way up to there, we're looking at about a 290% gain for XRP to get up to that sort of level. Again, this is against the Bitcoin as well, so Bitcoin can also retrace, and that would obviously increase XRP's price on this particular chart. Now XRP doesn't necessarily have to move in terms of the dollar or cent sort of degree, so XRP could stay where it is in terms of price action, but if obviously Bitcoin plummets, obviously that would take this chart up. So that is to play for. And like I said, I'm not saying XRP is going to fly up 290% to test that resistance. Again, it's appearing here, as you can see. Anyway, guys, I thought I'd keep it short and sweet for now. I will be covering Velo in the next video, along with Stronghold. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do so. Obviously, consider. I'm not saying to do so. You do what you want, can't you? Do what you want, mate. Like, share, subscribe, obviously, if you enjoyed the content. I've been the Block Bull. Until next time, take it easy, guys. God bless you all.